This is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
This is DG Chichester, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Hello, kids. Welcome back to another week of the Capes and Lunatics TV and Comics edition.
Isn't it always?
Well, it's official this week.
All things are TV and comics and movies and...
Oh, my. Anyway, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, that naked-faced man from New Jersey. It is
Charlie, the Professor Esser, now 20 years younger.
Hey-o. And...
It's my mad science.
And soon-to-be expatriate from Florida, from her secret Legion of Doom headquarters in Florida. It is...
Hey, y'all. It's Little Hellfire.
Rising from the swamp.
I hope that works out for you, Lo.
It will. I'm not worried about it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
As a person who worries constantly, I'm glad you're not worried.
I know. Don't worry. I've worried about her since she announced it now. She's going to be Sarah Connor. She's going to spend a decade or two down there. She's going to come back. Her arms going to be all
No, I'm not worried about like her physically. I'm just worried about like the opportunities arising like
I
depths.
thought you meant mental. Oh, mentally. Oh, I'm always worried about that.
No, please. Do you think I would worry about? You think I would worry about Lilith's mental state? No, I worry about Lilith. I worry about opportunities because sadly it's still capitalism all the way down.
She's a model of mental health.
Just remember, the titular Lunatics is about me and our show, so it's fine.
You don't want to know the things I've done.
All right, Lilith. So you're up first. Yes, each of us is going to throw out one show.
I told you to go first. Read the text.
I always let the lady go first. Lilith Hellfire, come on.
Fine. The show I want to talk about, because I don't want people to tune out. It's a girly show. So you got to sandwich it in between the masculinity, Phil.
They can hit the button. They can hit the button. Come on.
They can hit the button. Okay, so we're talking our favorite current shows, TV show, singular, that we're talking about today. Phil's going to talk about Better Call Saul, which I highly recommend as well as he does. But I'm talking about the best reboot-cool TV show I have seen. And yes, it's on HBO Max. It is Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. Finally a show that reboots and has everything that the old show had and does what the old show was supposed to do better. Sorry, Gossip Girl, you're out of here. They definitely, I think they might have overcorrected. It's a little wokey, but it's a little, couple of diversity hires, but I love all the girls. Not gonna lie, it's refreshing. Yeah, I like the show. It's pretty cool. They give you 2 episodes a week. That's something that I just love about HBO Max. They drop 3 episodes to premiere, and then, because they're burning off all the female scripted TV shows, I guess, is now that I'm putting it together. They're giving us 2 episodes a week for a total of 10, so it'll be over pretty soon. But yeah, it's been pretty good if you like horror, if you like mystery, if you were an original fan of Pretty Little Liars and hated The Perfectionist, this might be the sequel for you. Yeah, neither one of you guys are going to be interested. No, actually, if you like Chilling Adventures of Sabrina... That is because it's the same guy that show ran Riverdale and the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. He is now show running it, and he made it actually connected universes.
First off, I'm not going to sit here and say I wouldn't watch Pretty Little Liars if I had the time. Because that's the thing, and that's the thing with all these shows. It's like, to give you just a view of this, I love Stranger Things. I've been waiting for the new season of Stranger Things for years. I have still not watched the new Stranger Things. The new season dropped, and I'm like, oh, I really should watch that. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's going to be a character. Okay, that's a thing. Okay. I can't get to it. I don't know how to get. I mean, I know how to get to it. Obviously, I know how to watch. I'm on Netflix. I have the freaking account. I got all the accounts. It's not except for Apple, because I will not give money to Apple. They're evil, more evil than Amazon, which is saying something. They chose their symbol, the mark of the apple. I went to Sunday school. I know what that means. We'll move on from there. But I mean, that's the thing. I would love to talk Stranger Things season 27 or whatever it is now. And I probably could just by what I've read from memes, but I can't because I haven't watched it yet, because that takes time. And the time to watch things is not always there. So when you get to something like Pretty Little Liars, when you get to something like any story, like, unless you have a reason to watch it, it's hard. It's hard to watch it. And, you know, I'm sorry. So Lilith, sell me on Pretty Little Liars. What happens? Who are the Pretty Little Liars? Are they really pretty? Are they really small? Or are they in fact big ugly liars? And that's the buried lead. That's the ironic twist at the end.
No, that's not the ironic twist. So it's about 5 girls whose parents, mothers specifically, did something in 1999, and the theory is that somebody is avenging the person that they bullied, and now they're taking it out on their daughters, and they're kind of taking it out on them too. So really, from an emotional stance, they are ugly liars, aren't they? Well, the girls are so far. Their mothers are.
Well, yeah. Who are the Pretty Little Liars? Are the women?
We don't really know yet. They're the 5 girls with the daughters. That
I know, but we're calling them the Pretty Little Liars. But what are they lying about?
Well, everybody has secrets. Everybody has secrets. That's the thing. That's the motif.
Secrets, yeah. I don't know, Lilith. I'm sitting here saying, you know, secrets.
Like I said, it's for people who liked Riverdale, who liked Chilling Adventures, who were fans of the original Pretty Little Liars show, and who were disappointed in the sequel sister show, The Perfectionist. I think that they course corrected just a little too hard, but they've softened up on the wokeness and the constantly quoting lines like it's Scream 5. So yeah, I think it's shaping up to be good. I hope it does get a season 2. It deserves a season 2 in my opinion. It's one of the best things on HBO Max, right up there with A Flight Attendant as far as I'm concerned. So
I love Flight Attendant. I mean, I'm going to
like
say this right now.
Secrets and mysteries. It's like evil too. Secrets.
Flight Attendant is amazing, and I've watched 2 episodes of it, but I can't get back to it. That's the problem. It's like, oh wow, this is a really enjoyable show. I love, first off, Kylie Coco, a freaking functional alcoholic. Oh wow, I feel seen. You know, because we're both beautiful people. And we're both functional alcoholics. And so within that structure, it's like, yes, queen. Tell me my own story back to me. And I feel that. And then I can't get to the rest of it. You know, because it's like, oh, well, I guess I have to read comic books now. I have to go catch up on all the pop cultural ephemera. That's the big story this week. So
I'll put it to you this way. If anybody that's like listens to our podcast, I can't imagine there's a lot of crossover, but if you like Euphoria, this is a more down to earth Euphoria, actually. That's saying something. If you know the guy who runs Riverdale. Down to earth Euphoria. That's what this show is. That's how they should market it, actually. I would say call me, but I want nothing to do with Discovery Bros. So
yeah,
Discovery. Do not call me. Take my resume off of LinkedIn, please and thank you.
Honestly, I really thought that was going to be a topic for tonight, but obviously, we're
not giving any more coverage to that maniac. Yeah, I'm just not going to do it.
There's always next week. There's always the week after. There's always a new story.
Sadly, yes, that's the problem. Is that I get the feeling that Discovery Warners is going to be an evergreen topic that will always be available to us.
All right, and I found my new meme. Corporate needs you to find the difference in these pictures. It's the same picture, you know, and it's going to be like Kaylee Cuoco and Charlie Esser.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Okay,
see
I
no
have no idea what
difference.
just got said because obviously my connection is bad tonight. Um.
Phil, you're up.
Okay, Philip. Yes. What is your show?
All right. Oh, well, Lil's not gonna use the rest of her time. Okay.
You
Or
can
is
Uh,
use
it
the
me?
rest of my time, buddy.
Because I've got
uh,
like 6 shows I can talk about.
all right. Well,
Because I've caught
okay.
up on Harley Quinn too.
We're saving you. We're saving you for the closer, Charlie Esser. All right, as Lilith will attest, Better Call Saul is one of the greatest shows on television. It's the prequel to Breaking Bad. You don't have to watch Breaking Bad. I haven't watched Breaking Bad in a while, Lilith. But from what memory serves me, I think Better Call Saul could be better than Breaking Bad.
I really think it is.
Overheated.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I love the fact that it's a prequel and you don't have had to watch the original source material. Like that is a perfect standalone show, but like the Easter eggs and the tie-ins are just it's like the icing on top of the,
Yeah.
cupcake for sure.
I mean, it's just like you see the downfall of a man, coming into the darkness, but meanwhile, it's still like you want to root for him, and
You're still gonna root for him.
oh yeah, especially when
Well, it's
most of the people around him are just scumbags. It's like, oh,
It's a lawyer
Yeah,
that
I
you
mean,
can
not
actually
for-
root for.
not for nothing. Is Better Call Saul really a downfall story, or is it a
Well, he
rising
was already
up
his
from
downfall in Breaking Bad, so
well, I mean,
I mean, that's the idea. I mean, to me, the character is the villain. He's like Kingpin in Daredevil. It's like I am the villains upon the road. I am
I was
the
gonna say he is definitely not the one who knocks, my friend. That is
yeah.
a
He is. He is like, dude. No, I am here to tell you how to navigate the system.
it's all good, man.
Because honestly, most criminals are too damn stupid to figure out what to do next. So you kind of need a lawyer. That's my job. And to be fair, and this is something I'm going to say right now, because I'm gonna be real controversial right here. The world needs shyster evil lawyers. Because you know what? Shyster evil lawyers are the guys who keep us safe. One of the most, there's that line in Shakespeare, I think it's Henry V, where they say the first thing we do is kill all the lawyers. And everyone always laughs and applauds at that. Ah, yes, you awful lawyers, kill them all. But what is meant by that statement is that we're about to do a lot of really awful, illegal things. We're going to violate a lot of people's rights, and we're gonna basically install a fascist state. So we need to make sure all the lawyers are dead. Everyone who knows how to fight against us in the legal sense needs to be stopped. Lawyers, they're a necessary evil. And I, for one, embrace Saul as the guy who gets the bad guys off. Because you know what? If you don't have someone who gets the bad guys off, you and I got no one to get us off if we ever get into trouble.
I mean, it's not even just getting the bad guys off. I mean, he has schemes of his own,
his own machinations, yes.
And Monday's the final episode, and we kind of see they've been showing what happens after Breaking Bad, and he was kind of out. He was living under
Cinnabon life, yeah.
And then it's like he can't resist. He has to get back into life.
Time to make the donuts.
Ripping off the mall.
Isn't that the truth of any
capitalism makes a-holes of us all. That's the moral of the story.
There is a reason I did not go into accounting. Because I actually have a talent for it. I know numbers. Numbers are fun. I understand loopholes and intricaticities, whatever that word is. I do understand it. And there was a point in my life where I was like, oh, wow, man, accounting is fun. But then I realized, oh, man, I'm going to go to jail eventually if I go into accounting. Because I am literally the guy who would be at Enron who said, you know what might make us more money? You know what's a good loophole? You know what's something we could exploit? I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I talk to people about salami slicing, which I hate when I see it in a company. And by the way, all PEOs do it. and they're real awful about it. Salami slicing is when you take the half pennies and put them in your own pocket. It's not technically illegal. It's not technically illegal, but it drives me nuts. Whenever I see them, like, oh, you salami slicers. And, but that's the thing.
Gus Gorman.
I'm sorry, I don't know. But
Gus Gorman.
Oh, Gus Gorman, yes. Well, he was the original salami. Well, he's not the original salami slicer. Obviously, it was a well-established criminal practice long before Gus Gorman got there. But okay, that's fine. Play offline, as long as it's not interfering with the Wi-Fi. I don't worry about it, Tristan. Kids today.
Don't slice that salami off my Wi-Fi.
Well, I need the Wi-Fi.
I know.
For the salami. But first off, I love salami, and I love salami slices, especially when they're really thin. I don't like the practice of salami slicing, which is a reference to when you got that little bit of salami. It's not quite good for a slice. So let me just eat it myself.
Gonna throw up.
That's the actual origin. It's like when you were in the deli and you're slicing the salami. And you get that little slice that wasn't quite right. And first, if anyone that's ever worked with a meat slicer, you know what we're talking about. And there's ways to deal with it and ways to not deal with it. It should go on the sandwich. But when you take it and just eat it yourself, that's salami slicing. And that's not kosher.
I'm looking forward to the finale, but I'm sad for the finale. But you recommended the podcast, and I think I'm gonna go back I'm gonna do the full rewatch. Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I mean
the podcast on the way.
The podcast is good because like the co-hosts are like editors of the show, and then they have the creators on there. Gilligan and Peter Gould, and then every so often they have some of the actors on there or the writers. It's a good podcast. And again, Jonathan Banks, who plays Mike. Oh my god. Talking to Little Prince the other day.
We all know a guy like that, bro.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I'm scared for this finale. I mean, and then we saw what happened to Kim after Breaking Bad this past week.
Yeah.
A fate worse than death. A fate worse than death
for Kim.
A fate worse than death. She was living in Florida.
I am an exile here, so
Oh, were you originally a blonde and you went to
so bad? As I stated, as a person who's never lived in Florida.
DeSantis needs to be stopped. So no, Florida is absolutely terrible. New Yorkers need to stop coming here.
Well, yeah,
too.
I mean DeSantis needs to be stopped. Yes, but
he makes the whole place a living hellhole. So anyway.
But I mean, again, the cast on this show is so good. Jonathan Banks, who plays Mike. Again, everything he does is amazing. Giancarlo Esposito. I mean, come on.
And I love
our
that
new
people are
Professor
just
Xavier.
discovering.
Thank you very much.
I hope.
They're just discovering that he's black and Italian and not Afro-Latino. I'm like, the first name should have told you, but I don't know. Not everybody's good with languages.
You know what? He would be good. He will be good as Xavier because Xavier is
a villain.
Yeah,
he's known for playing villains. It's like Xavier is a villain confirmed.
Although you know who Lil said he should play instead of Xavier, who would kill. She goes, make him Magneto.
I mean, there's no argument there either. I mean, honestly, you could make him Magneto. You can make him Xavier. You could make him Doom. I would be very comfortable with all three of those
he's too good. He's too good for Doom. No.
Yeah, Doom's not a competent villain.
Maybe he'd make me appreciate Doom if he played Doom. That's the thing. It's like, I mean, he is really good at what he does. It's unfortunate that Marvel doesn't have a Lex Luthor. I mean, really.
They have Norman Osborn, but that's like if Lex and Joker had a baby, so that's kind of something different.
he's no Lex Luthor. He would be an amazing, honestly. If you want to put they are
trying to make the Osborns black. I'm just saying they are. Like we've seen it.
Well, I mean, they have the wavy hair. They've always had it, so
No, No, but they darken their skin if you've seen the most recent things, so it's
Well,
Yes,
that's fine by me.
I think isn't that new animated? Was that freshman year? I think they are trying to make them black.
they're giving it the old Superman the Animated Series treatment. Oh, we're not saying he's black, but we're just gonna darken that up
And
a
to
bit.
be
just
fair,
in case.
to be fair, so was Luthor in that. So that's when you get out in the sun, everyone looks the same.
Well, it's to make sure people didn't think he was a Nazi. That's actually the reason why because he was bald and
they didn't look like a skinhead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, I mean it's not like being a Nazi is exclusive as a club.
Well, I mean,
allegedly it's supposed to be.
I mean, he hates Superman. Because,
specifically Nazis, yes, but just the fact
he was supposed to be the ideology.
He hates Superman because of his genetics.
All I'm saying is the Ubermensch that he wished he could be.
Ooh.
That is the
but that's the thing is I mean, if I were running DC and I'm not, the idea of getting Esposito in as Lex Luthor and building my villains verse off of this idea of the man who is.
Yeah, they tried building on Suicide Squad before Justice League, and look what.
No. They did not build a villains verse. They built they first off, they haven't built anything. They have a bunch of blocks on the ground.
No, I said they tried. They didn't say they built.
No, they didn't try. Don't act like they tried, Phil.
They threw stuff at the wall. They threw stuff at the wall, Charlie. After nothing stuck.
We're doing me now.
There is no try. There is do or do not.
And they have
exactly. They have not. But that's the thing. So if you wanted to have Giancarlo Esposito as a Lex Luthor, as a literal Ubermensch, captain of the most powerful company in the world,
Master of the Universe,
who is black, who is now faced with the fact that, hey, here's good old Superman. Hey, how you doing, everybody?
And guess what? His great-great-grandfather was Gus Gorman.
Oh, God. I don't think you have to go that far.
He's like, you can.
He's a middle-aged man already, so I don't even go. But yes, honestly, the idea of Lex Luthor.
And that's how we do it, and that's how we super connect the whole DC universe.
But the thing is that and then the entire argument becomes really interesting, because it does become this idea of the humans versus the superhumans, and the humans being reasonably, but also maybe excessively afraid of the rise of superhumanity.
But then you get back, then you get in that slippery slope of Batman's like, I gotta kill Superman.
Well,
he's part of the problem. He's jealous. Listen, he's jealous of Clark too for more than one reason, but we're not gonna go there today.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Batman issue, it's
All right. Charlie asked
let the macaroni save.
Oh no, not the macaroni.
The macaroni is the one true hero of Gotham. And if you saw the most recent episode of Harley Quinn, you would know that.
All right, Charlie Esser, what show do you want to talk about?
I mean, I see. I'm torn because, well, since we're talking about the failures of DC, I have to talk about Sandman.
After the chat for Warner Brothers on that one.
Wow.
And Netflix.
It's like what in God's. I mean, my only actual theory is that Neil Gaiman was like, "No, I'm not going to do this to HBO. I'm not going to do this to DC. You can have the credit. You can have whatever money that credit gives you, but I'm not working with you insane lunatics."
Actually, no. This actually was supposed to be a movie, and then it got turned into a TV show that's supposed to be on NBC that with Constantine with Matt Ryan, and then that whole thing fell through because if you see, David S. Goyer is executive producer, and he's got a couple other credits behind the scenes as well. So that all stems back to like 2011 through 2015, and then they finally got to shoot it in 2018 to 2019. And then by that whole, because they were in that influx of DC Infinite to HBO Max, it was easier just to keep the deal with Netflix at that point because they wanted it.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing.
It is.
As Terry Hatcher once said, they're real and they're spectacular. I mean, this is thank you, and also DC reference if you follow along. But no, I mean, what's amazing about it is literally just this fact that this is a story that is at once about immortal beings and about how weak they are against a bad roll in D&D. Where literally Roderick Burgess, some rando with a bag of dice, says, "Ha ha! I have captured something." Oh, and honestly, if the Corinthian had not escaped the dreaming, who honestly the Corinthian, because I've only seen like up to episode 4 right now, so I don't really know how bad he gets, but he like doesn't do much except from like just, I'm gonna do the stabby stab, and so he stabs, and it's like, okay.
No, but can we talk about how he's really a nightmare? He's got teeth in his eyes. Like, no! And also, this show, look, I have to warn you guys, this is a spoiler. The dog does die. Not once, but twice. First they kill the Raven Jessamy, and then they kill the damn gargoyle. Back-to-back episodes.
I told you it was only up to episode 4, man.
No, that happened in the first 2 episodes.
Oh, you mean Gregory?
Yeah, the gargoyle.
Oh, I thought you meant the lady's dog.
No.
The lady has the
Raven
Rottweiler.
and Gregory the gargoyle in the first 2 episodes.
Okay, well, that's neither one of those are dogs, Lois.
But it's a beloved companion, is what I mean. The dog dies.
I know,
in that
and
sense.
justice for Gregory, but Gregory, they
justice
give
for Jessamy. She was just trying to free her friend.
First off, I don't know how I feel about ravens with white breasts. I'm just gonna say it. That's at Charlie Esser. I don't know. I'm like, are you really even a raven?
She might have had partial albinism. How dare you? You don't know her story.
Fair enough. No, but no. Honestly, Jessamy's death was horrific. Horrific, especially after we meet Matthew, and he was like, "Yeah, I used to be a human, but I died in my sleep, so I guess now I live in the dream." And it's like, and they made me a raven, and now which makes me think, was Jessamy just some person? And like, what happens to freaking Jessamy when she dies if she's already a dream?
She goes back to the sand, baby.
I don't know, man. They haven't explained it yet, and I'm really worried about poor old Jessamy, because clearly Sandman is not taking it well. And what I'm gonna say is my biggest complaint about this whole thing: they didn't tie the helm to the 1940s Sandman.
But they did give it a reference in one of the episodes where the kids dressed up as him. They did do that.
Okay, well, I mean, that's good, but I feel like, it would have been really cool that
because you know the story, right?
Helm.
That's what they wanted freaking Neil Gaiman to do, and then he did something completely different. That's what the story was supposed to be.
I know, and to me, I'll say it. It takes Neil Gaiman down a little bit. He's really high up. I love the man. I love his work, but it's like, you know what, Neil, you couldn't incorporate that. Maybe you're not so good a writer as I thought. It's like, yeah, you can do your own stuff, but can you dance within the song already playing? And to me, it seems like, man, you can have all the objects out there. You could have the helm come into the guy who wants to do good, and he's doing his little. I still don't know what the freak the helm does, but the idea that the Sandman had his helm, and that's what made him have his sleep gas, that would have been so awesome. And then he just like meets some old guy who's like, yeah, I was here in the 40s. I wore that and I used to shoot the gas, and that's what I did. There you go, take it, have some fun. And it would have been great, and I wouldn't be mad about it except for the wizard duel, which follows proper sword in the stone rules for wizard dueling, which I appreciate. Thank you, Neil, for remembering the best Disney film ever made, Sword in the Stone. Um, even at one point, like one of them becomes a bacteria, and that's beautiful. That is beautiful. They each become a different thing to battle each other, and it's like, and I love the idea that at the end, you know, Lucifer becomes anti-life. It's like, well, then I'm hope, and what is what kills hope? And of course, the obvious answer is, well, lots of things kill hope. Hope is really delicate. But of course, if you're a demon living in heck, hope is all but that's all they have.
Hope
So,
brings eternal misery.
yeah,
I'm a firm believer.
and the idea that even if she could have pointed out that actually anti-life literally kills hope. That's pretty much all it does. All it would do was expose the failure of her entire system, which then Morpheus exposes. He says, "Yeah, what do you think all your demons are going to do the minute I say, yeah, you guys can't dream of hope anymore. You can't dream of this idea of you one day conquering heaven because, let's be honest, that's the only thing that keeps you in power." And that is beautiful. That's a beautiful switch on it. I mean, I was a little disappointed that he didn't become antibiotics when she became the bacteria, which is, of course, what defeats Madame Mim in Sword in the Stone. Uh, but like dreaming, hey, I'm antibiotics because I'm a dream and I'm something that someone figured out how to defeat whatever wasting bacteria that you are. So that's good. And again, everything about Sandman is beautiful. Cain and Abel are awesome, even without the properly trimmed beards. And I'm going to say this: they could have gone through the trouble to at least make Cain's more curly. Abel, he always had a bigger beard. We know that, and I'm willing to accept that. But Cain should have had the mustache. And they didn't do it. I'm like, I'm a little disappointed in you. I'm a little disappointed in you, directors, that you're not going to go because I don't know. It's not like. I mean, it's not like people around the world don't have fancy mustaches. That's
Not no more.
I don't, but
mustaches
other people do.
Out. Big burly mutton chops in. Ain't good.
Yes. Well, anyway. But so that's like my one flaw in it. And Gregory was awesome. I loved Cain and Abel. I hope that's not the last we see of them. I imagine it is because I can't imagine doing more with them. Although my biggest hope is that we will get.
Trust me, the new Gargoyle, they'll be back. They'll be back. Trust me, that's gonna come into play at the last episode. Probably. I haven't finished either, so.
Yeah, but I will say this. Speaking of them, I'm going to go to my first comic of this because the person who is missing from this story, the true owner and hero of the House of Mystery is Elvira.
Nice.
And honestly, that is the one thing that I really wish. I know they can't for so many reasons, but man, had Elvira been in this, that would have been the best as the true queen of nightmares. And speaking of which, we have Elvira this week as my indie pick of the week. That's my only indie this week. But
indie picks, it's only the only one.
Although to be fair, because they did pull Heathens for me, but it was literally a reprint of the previous Heathens. So I'm like, I guess they're reprinting Heathens, and I love Heathens. It's a great book, but I'm not just going to buy the same book again. That would be silly. That would imply I'm a collector of some sort. In this week's issue, Elvira is, of course, on the. I don't even know what they call it. It might be the Nostros. It might be something else. But she's in the alien storyline. Plotline. It's a lot of fun. She's trying to get to the remote because that's how she gets back. She has to find the magic remote that lets her change channels and go to another movie. And right now she's working through this. She's seen Alien, and so she tells everyone what's going on. and no one believes her until they're also like, and also, why are you in a cocktail dress? She's like, well, it's a long story. She loves breaking the fourth wall throughout it. She loves breaking it even with the characters, which is delightful. She eventually gets to the remote. Let me find the page. And what is she? Oh, yes. So she gets the remote. She's talking to the computer. She gets herself out of it. And of course, where does she go? Unpleasant dreams, viewers. She's in the middle of the nightmare on Maple Street. And I'm looking forward to that next issue. So, Elvira in Horrorland. It is our beloved Elvira, the true owner of the House of Mystery, jumping throughout numerous universes, dealing with other monster movie problems.
Lilith.
What do you guys got?
I guess I'll do an indie first. I'll talk about Samurai Doggy #1 because come on, it's a Samurai Doggy. That's like literally written for me. It's from Aftershock. It is a $4.99 book, in case you're wondering. It's basically about a dog who mother was killed and his 8 little puppy brothers were kidnapped. And then he goes on this quest to find them and save them. But then like the person that killed his mom almost killed him. And then he gets saved magically by this weird vulture. And now he's a samurai doggy, going from town to town, avenging all the wrongs that need to be righted. It's absolutely adorable. I don't know what you want from me.
They knew who they were pandering to.
I mean, Aftershock has such a wide variety of like books. That's what I really love Aftershock for. They have something for everybody. A lot of the stuff's very quirky and off the beaten path, so...
All right. I have one indie book, Lilith Hellfire. Would you like to guess?
King Spawn number 13, baby! I know you well, sir.
I know. And I know.
Well, like I said, between King Spawn and Gunslinger, the main book better watch its back. It's kind of losing traction with me.
I know.
I mean, it's still good, but like these two are really good. Like they're really. I'm waiting on those toys. I'm like, Christmas McFarlane or what?
For what? I mean, they already have a gunslinger figure out.
I know it's not very good though.
I know. I have it.
Yeah, I'm figuring the deluxe should be out for Christmas. I'm hoping. Well, like no, like the basic McFarlane toys are never good, and you should never ever take it out of the box. They will fall apart. They will fall apart within 2 years if you take it out of the box. The deluxe ones are really good. Like the one that I got you with the Batman and Azrael, that's technically a McFarlane. It's the deluxe version. She'll last you forever. But the basic McFarlanes, no good.
Did you see they're putting out? Did you see you're putting out a Parallax?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I've got I was gonna get Will the Green Lantern one. That kind of looks like that one. So yeah.
Oh, what, that 2-pack?
Yeah.
No, we need.
Wait, is it Parallax or is it
it's Hal Jordan as Parallax. Yeah.
Hal Jordan is Parallax.
Yeah.
So he's got the white hair and
Little's favorite Hal Jordan.
Well, next is Spectre.
Yeah.
I like Hal Jordan as a Spectre. He does look good in green. I will give that to Hal. He looks good in green.
Oh my!
It's his color. They knew what they were doing.
I am Alan Scott all the way. Justice for Alan Scott.
Oh, you
Not
get no
Sinestro?
arguments here.
Not Sinestro?
Sinestro did nothing wrong, first of all, sir.
Well,
he just
first off,
wants order.
No, exactly. He did what he was told to do. He kept order in his squadron.
That
it was a fascistic dictatorship. That was up to the Guardians to decide.
And the Guardians, as we've discussed, are useless beings of an aptitude.
They didn't care. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I think that had the Guardians come to...
They created the Manhunters. We can't trust them.
No, I mean, obviously they are... honestly,
never name an army after Lilith Hellfire.
I think they were mad about it just because Hal Jordan started making a fuss. And they felt embarrassed.
They were like, what do you want, human?
Exactly. And he's not even...
Your planet's ghetto. You got the nerve to pipe up?
Oh my god. Oh my god. He was the original Karen, so Lilith, when he became Parallax, he went full nuclear Karen.
He was a cop. He's a space cop, you know.
Lilith, Parallax, full nuclear Karen.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, no, but that's the thing. I mean, the elders are space cops. They're totally like, no, man, order above all. Order will, and if if you violate the order, yeah, we will absolutely bring a hammer down on you. We won't kill you because that's wrong.
Uh,
We'll
But
do
we
everything
will,
up until that point.
up
any,
until that point, we will happily lobotomize you. So, which I'm guessing was the out that Sinestro figured out. It's like, you know what? I can just remove the parts of their brains that make them evil. And that solves that problem. Problem solved.
gotta have a brain first. Anyway,
Yeah,
King
well,
Spawn.
Hey,
13.
you know what? Hey, the Justice League did it too, so let's call a shelter half an entrenching tool, my friends.
Batman tried to fight that.
Yeah, sure he did.
He did, man. They had they lobotomized his memory. That's why they said they
Yeah,
were like,
I know.
that's why he
Actually, I
was like,
know that's well, that's why you need that like human level person that's like,
Batman.
this is not a good idea. I know you're omnipotent beings of space and time, but no, maybe we shouldn't do this thing.
Into the Dark Knight, all to do with Batman.
so
You
Will,
never say, Frey.
never. Vintage, never. All right, Lil. So what do you think? Is Al Simmons taking the deal? Is he going to take that Throne of Hell, or even if he does, again, he's being manipulated or saying, "Oh no," once again, it's like, "Oh, you're."
I mean, we've been here before. He's gonna take it, and plot twist. Oh no,
King's pawn. Oh, remember that from back? First it was, "Oh no, you're Hell's pawn."
exactly.
So we're But yeah, no, this and Gunslinger are the two best Spawn books. So
It's
So
like
does
Red
Hell
Rum.
have a sentience of its own? Like, who is Hell? I mean, that's really
I have one
the question.
better. Why is Hell?
How is
I
hell?
mean, how is Hell? Well, I mean, to be fair, that's sort of what they give you in Sandman, which is like, Hell is just a place that you all are stuck. And like every power structure within it is totally based on this idea that everyone thinks you should be running it. But that's the thing, is like, if there's any forces trying to put someone on the throne of Hell, like, does that mean that the Hell has a sense of itself?
Maybe that's the twist.
And I was like, no, literally, I exist to punish horrible people because they're horrible. And I just say, hey, look how horrible you are. They go, oh, no, I don't want to see that. And it's like, well, guess what? That's eternity for you now because you're horrible.
Charlie, guess what? The train's never coming because they're already in the bad place.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's honestly for real.
eternity.
But maybe there's a place for not so bad.
But maybe there's a medium place.
Yes, it's called.
Maybe we can grow.
Yes, it's
Yes,
called.
I am currently in the middle of the good place rewatch. Leave me alone.
It's either called Heck
You know
or New
what?
Jersey.
That is the best part about She-Hulk is Titania, and just although I had a whole conversation with people about this the other day. It's like, was she a little skinny girl from Colorado before this? And does that, great that she's
Eater.
Is she a glamazon? But should she have always been a glamazon? Should that be a new thing in her life?
Oh, we're having the Emma Frost debate with Titania. Okay. She's
Well, I mean, I'm willing to have that debate. I mean, look, she can be Indian and be a little skinny girl. There are a lot of, as Ms. Marvel has showed us, there's a lot of awkward little skinny girls from of Indian and Pakistani heritage who gain superpowers and don't use them for evil, but some do, and so I think that's an important plot line to explore. We'll talk about that a bit more in Avengers Declassified, because we saw the trailer and everyone knows there's something cool coming. But yeah, I mean, that's my thing. Anyway,
And perhaps next week we could talk episode 1 of She-Hulk.
we could, because it is coming soon.
Or I don't know if Lilith wants to wait till it's all out. I don't know.
No, it's up to you guys. I don't care.
And plus, I don't want to
I am gonna look forward to Full Stream Ahead to have Mozzie's opinions.
I was gonna say I don't want to steal the boys' thunder.
Well, we honestly, you know what, Phil? I don't think everyone watches every show we do.
I could do this all day.
Well, I mean, really, I just think that there are some shows we do, and I'm sure there are people who watch all of our shows, but I think sometimes there's redundancy between the shows, and that's okay. I watch a lot of shows that have redundancies in them because I watch YouTube. And like, it's like, okay, here's where they touched on this in this episode. Now they're doing a deep dive. And that's okay. It's okay that it's okay that there's a deep dive. It's okay that sometimes we'll do some surface discussion.
5 things they better include in She-Hulk, and 5 things they better not.
Honestly, my opinion is She-Hulk will be the next keystone of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you skip it at your peril.
Ooh.
That is my opinion. Big belief is this is where we're going to introduce the intelligentsia, which gives you the implication, if not the reveal of doom. So there's a lot going on in all this. It's going to be big.
Is that going to be the first? Is that going to be the first Easter egg? It's going to be like, where did Titania get all these powers? And that's going to be like an end credit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, literally, yes. They're going to, and here's my real hope is they're going to Steve Rogers her up. So she's this little skinny kid with a gigantic head in the first scene you see her. And she's just trying to be a YouTube influencer or a TikToker or whatever the kids do nowadays. And then all of a sudden, she's going to be freaking Titania. And she's going to be ready to punch some people in the face. Or she's always going to be Titania, but then we're going to find out she used to be Skeeter. Whatever the plot line is, that's what we're going to get to. And then how she got these powers. That's the question, because the intelligentsia are going to be a part of it. They're going to give you the gift of the leader. Maybe not the same actor, maybe not anything about it, but at least it's going to be something that you get the understanding of it. But that, yeah. It's going to be a thing, but we'll talk about that later. So anyway, moving right along. Is it my turn to give a comic or?
Yes.
Okay. You want to talk Ms. Marvel meets Wolverine?
Sure.
That was fun. Apparently Wolverine is no longer in the throuple. So
he was booted out, yeah.
Yeah, he got voted out. But you know what? Not for nothing. I don't blame the guy. Because that's a weird situation. It's all weird. Everything about the mutants is weird.
Summer's boys make it weird.
Honestly, and quite frankly, it makes sense that he's out. And of course, he connects with good old Ms. Marvel, the MCU mutant who is still a Inhuman in the comics universe.
For now.
Although, and again, one of the characters in this episode is Armor. I don't know where that picture is, but Armor, whose powers seem very similar to MCU Ms. Marvel. So there's some interesting cross hashes going in this.
Somebody's muffin's getting buttered, but that ain't my business.
Yeah, well, in this there is. So the whole point of this is they're fighting robot locusts that are trying to eat the trees
the treehouse,
the X-Men trees, and they don't show us who the villain is.
Who wrote this book? Cause
Jody
I smell a doobie.
Jody Hauser.
Oh, I don't know that.
Okay, well, she did a good job.
That's like some ayahuasca dreams right there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
it's a setup because this is kind of like a mini series.
My big thought is that the villain is the High Evolutionary in this. Because, fun fact, the High Evolutionary does not like mutants.
Is that a
little known fact?
Is that fun?
He's the only one who doesn't like mutants.
Yeah, because he thinks humans need to evolve as humans. As humans, not as... Because he believes in this idea of a unified genetic perfection of humans, not random mutation. Because
eugenics. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, for real. Did you read the Evolutionary Wars? It's like...
Not really.
Oh, dude. Okay, well...
No!
To be fair, she was probably like 4 when it came out. So,
I don't think she was even. What was that?
Just
88.
like I've skipped over Heroes Reborn. I know the gist of it. I don't need to know the fine details.
But that was the whole thing. It's like he's based and like
That's
freaking.
Big Boot Captain America.
For what it's worth, Captain America calls me like, dude, you sound like a Nazi. It's like it's like, no, I just want to have
Goes
humanity.
hand in hand, my friend, hand in hand.
I want humanity to be perfect. It's like, yeah, like the Nazis did. I'm gonna have to hit you with my shield now, sir.
So that chicken. No,
and that's
not
what
we
Captain
do.
America does. Okay, give me one of your books, friends.
All right, well,
I'll talk about Avengers and Moon Girl. I'll give this the cutest book of the week.
And again, who's the villain, Lilith?
Nobody. We're just looking for the dinosaur.
Oh, you know who the villain is.
There's no villains. There's only good guys here. Come on, Charlie.
The whole reason I mentioned him was because he's in this book.
I know, but he's minding his business, honestly.
Oh, he is not minding his business. He has usurped the Summers house, which honestly,
hello, thank you.
It's like he's got his Newman in the Summers house.
Newman.
Listen, I don't know if you know this about me. I hate the Summers. I hate them. So
no.
Fair enough.
So I'm like, I see he did nothing wrong for me right here.
But anyway, yes. So tell us about the book, Lilith.
I mean, I did kind of like the one with her, with Miles a little bit better. This one feels a little more aimless because she's got that clone dinosaur and she's trying to like make sure that he's stabilized. That whole thing's kind of weird, but everything else is really cute, I think. I don't really know why we have this book, but I like the fact that we have this book.
Honestly, I get the feeling that Lunella might show up in Black Panther. Or somewhere else soon.
I hope so, because they did put her in Wakanda. So to be fair, so that maybe that's.
That's the thing. Like Lunella is literally the smartest person on the planet, as said by Reed Richards.
Yes.
Who doesn't worry about this sort of nonsense? He's like, yeah, she's really smart. Great.
You can bother her now.
Hey,
the new smartest girl on the planet. Stay away from my daughter.
She could be the she could be the person in the chair for Riri.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Well, she would be awesome in any role she takes on. So it wouldn't surprise me if we get a 9-year-old girl solving a Rubik's Cube at some point. Just looking at the camera, it's like, yeah, I see you.
Yeah, so I don't think we're getting that dinosaur. They're going to want to put that in there every 2 seconds.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah,
well, honestly, it's Wakanda. You could get dinosaurs. I am not gonna presume dinosaurs don't exist in Wakanda. It's sort of like.
I mean, those weird rhinos. They're probably like their grandparents or something. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
But no, I think it is the cutest book that Marvel's putting out right now. I like the vibes of it. I just don't know why we have it, but I like the vibes of it. Sometimes you just need a book that doesn't have a purpose, I guess.
I agree 100%, and I think that actually it's fun and it's light and it's something that
light
introduces. It's like this is a book that if you had younger kids that you didn't want them to see, something untoward, even though we're dealing with the Summers house. I
was gonna say, don't take them to see a DC movie.
You can give this to them and they're like, oh, that's cool, and we have color-coded dinosaurs. Which is like great for toys,
exactly.
And we know that they have to have that as their heads get bigger, they eventually explode. You have to keep their heads small, so there's a game aspect of it. So there's a lot of fun to be had for a young kid reading this, and as an old man, I enjoyed it too. I enjoyed the idea of Ms. Marvel and Tony Stark having to deal with this 9-year-old. Who is smarter than all of them?
That makes better life choices. Yes, I agree. I love the juxtaposition.
Literally, this for what it's worth.
I would have been like, oh, these Avengers. I was hoping for someone cooler. I was waiting on that line, but she's not rude, so
yeah,
she's got good home training.
For what it's worth, the other Avengers are currently fighting Mephisto.
As they always are. They're always somewhere.
Yeah.
Philly?
All right, I will probably bring up a new number 1 of a rebooted comic, X-Men Legends number 1.
I did read that.
What did you think? Yes, it takes place right after Incredible Hulk 181 and before Giant Size X-Men number 1. So it's basically Wolverine after his battle with the Hulk, trying to get out of the Canadian government.
Just walk out and ask politely, eh? Yeah, I hate when they have like these stupid premises of a set between a certain thing. It's like, bro, you missed your opportunity 30, 40 years ago. Let it go. Let it go.
Oh yeah, because I mean it is Roy Thomas, so yeah, it's.
What you got for Roy?
Well,
I gave him a shekel. To be fair, I gave good old Roy his shekel.
I mean, they try to do this every couple of years because I mean, what was that? X-Men.
We know everything about Wolverine. Stop it.
Well, Wolverine is specifically this time, but it's like they did. Did you ever read that X-Men: The Hidden Years? That kind of bridges that gap between X-Men 60
and then we have the Gambit. It's like enough. Somebody must cut them off at this point.
But again, that's pop culture at this point, because we always got to do prequels and stuff. I mean, I know
prequels, sequels, reboot.
I know I sung the praises of Better Call Saul, but look at Star Wars prequels and.
Listen, you're preaching to the choir.
Do we need to know everything?
Look, HBO has like 7 of them, and only one of them is good. Sorry, and ain't you, Sex in the City ladies?
Oh, they were going to talk about Pennyworth. I'm all here for Pennyworth.
Yes, and I guess people didn't know Pennyworth is on HBO Max. Pennyworth is on HBO Max.
It is now. I'm super excited.
It's
been there for a while, though.
But we're getting season 3, so that's that didn't get cut.
Yeah, I got to catch up on season 2, but
that's going to be the last season, though. So.
Well, fair enough, but that leads into Gotham, and so it's the Gotham verse, and that's cool.
And I thought this was a joke, but literally, maybe did they think people didn't know what the show was about? Because I guess they rebranded it as Pennyworth: the origin of Batman's butler.
I did not think that they did that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a gag. I think
it's like official. No, I thought it was a joke too.
I think they titled it that as a gag. I think they.
What is this, Harley Quinn?
Well, they want. Here's the thing. Everyone knows who Alfred Pennyworth is.
I don't know.
And so, yes, to true fans like you and me and Lilith, I mean, we know who Alfred Pennyworth is. Even though
they had to throw the Batman in there somehow, bro.
Yeah, they wanted to. I think it's also
that's the official title now on HBO Max.
I know. But what I'm saying is, I think that's meant to. First off,
that was a Discovery Bros decision because they think we're stupid.
Well, I kind of think it's sort of like the macaroni, and they should have said Rise of the Macaroni. That would have been perfect had they called it Rise of the Macaroni. That would have been perfect, but again, it's a little bit too deep of a dive for a lot of the kids at home, Phil, and so I think they're trying to give that tie-in. Say, oh wait, this is Batman, because it basically and literally what it is they want you when you type into search Batman that this will come up. So literally, the title isn't for you; it's for the algorithm.
It's for SEO, baby.
So the algorithm knows. Oh, Batman. Okay, this is one of the Batman items on the list. I mean, you could do that with some kind of like hidden code. But that like
I said, that's a Discovery Bros decision there because they think we're stupid. They think that we should be separated by gender.
To be fair, humanity is not that smart as far as gender goes. I don't even know what that is. But
and neither do they.
Exactly. Honestly, that's the thing. Anyone that wants to say that humanity is not the brightest group in the world, I'm like, yeah, agree, 100%. It's I'm a member of it.
You don't have to be smart, but be savvy. Pop culture savvy. That's what it's all about nowadays.
Not right now. Not without supervision.
All right. So, anyone else have any books to throw out?
I'm going to throw out Nubia, Queen of the Amazons, number 3. Shout out to Stephanie Williams and Aletha Martinez and Mark Morales who did the art. If you're not reading Nubia, I don't know why, and I'm judging you.
It is good.
So, and we get Hot Girl in this one and a new Wonder Girl. So yeah, it's a lot of girl power, but not gratuitous girl power.
Yeah, no, it's
whatever that means.
Again, I told you, I wish they would just make Nubia Wonder Woman and have Diana just sit on Themyscira as the queen.
Yeah. Although, honestly though, like, Wonder Woman doesn't deserve to be queen. She deserted them. Like, I'm just being real. She's doing
died.
a great job as a queen. How many times has this been? She can't keep her life force in her body. Like, come on.
Well,
and to be fair, I don't think she wants the job. It's like freaking Harry and what's his name? The other one.
Again, female.
They don't want to be king. It's like, yeah, great, Dad, that you were king, and someday we might be king. But you know what? It looks honestly like a lousy job.
Somewhere Zoidberg says, "We're doing me now."
That's coming back.
I know. Right. I'm excited.
I'm excited, and it's going to be like set like. So we're gonna actually see Zoidberg and his hopefully beloved wife in a happy life. That would be nice to see, like, settled, successful Zoidberg. Perhaps they have to get the team back together. It'll be amazing. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm glad that we could come to a conclusion with good old Billy West, because it just wouldn't be the same without him. So
no, and
pay your actors their worth. That is all.
To be fair, you always got to pay everyone what they're worth. And, I think...
You need the money, Gimme.
To be fair, I don't know if anyone was paid less than they were worth. So, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like when you make a big...
And this is the only thing I will give David Schwimmer credit for, even though David Schwimmer knew he was the least important member of Friends. And that's why he actually struck that deal, was for them to all be paid equally. Mm-hmm. But nevertheless, he did make that, and that was good for them. That was good for everyone.
And that should be a standard for most ensemble shows. It's like we all rise and we all fall, because you pull out the one straw, everything falls apart.
Because I think he's the only one that didn't have a show after that. I'm pretty sure. Chandler got 3. I'm just saying, Matthew Perry got like 4 different shows.
Not to be rude, but who needs one after it? It's like they were paid.
Matthew Perry definitely. No tea, no shade. We all know the struggles he went through.
He's gone through
and definitely Matt LeBlanc. But he went on to do great things on the HBO shows. So,
Like, LeBlanc got 3 shows after the whole thing. So, he got a movie into...
We don't count Joey.
I count Joey. It's a real show. It was a good show. I enjoyed Joey. I liked Joey. And I liked freaking
the one on HBO where he was like
he was the handsome actor, and he played him. It's good, and then he's got the new Man with a Plan with Subliminal Man, and that's good, and I like that. That's what? Man with a Plan. Yeah, I think
good for him. I don't watch network TV too often unless it's Law and Order SVU.
Yeah, well, it's CBS, so they like the old people. So it's like it's good. It's doing okay. I actually might not be CBS. It might be NBC. But Man with a Plan is still on, and it's okay. He's good in it. He's a good actor. As it turns out, he's really good at playing Joey, and Joey is a really universal character. So you know what? There's no shame in it, and I'm really proud for the guy, and I'm happy for him. He was also in Lost in Space, the movie, which was good, produced by Little Caesars. And pizza, and it's delicious. It's delicious, pizza.
It's the best pizza you can get for $5. Well, now it's $6. $6 hot and ready. It was my first job, so I'm always gonna love Little Caesars.
Me too, my friend. So he's doing okay. And but the thing is that they all got paid like $100,000 an episode, and if you got paid $100,000 an episode, you can put that money in a bank.
You can, but when you live that Hollywood lifestyle, listen.
Well, who has that lifestyle? My lifestyle is
Jennifer Aniston.
Yes, Jennifer Aniston has that lifestyle. But to be fair,
Courtney Cox.
To be fair, these are people that were young in Hollywood. These were people raised in nonsensical fantasy worlds to start with.
Exactly.
So like if you're Jennifer Aniston and like your mom was a producer or something, or your dad was a producer, you don't know what it's like to be a normal human being. And it's like, oh, okay, you just don't know. But like for
I mean, look at poor Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage just likes to spend money, and that's
exactly.
That's a different problem. You can be from poor stance and still want to.
Well, he's not
money.
from poor circumstance. Let's not ever get.
They stole his comics.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, what were we talking about? But yes,
we're closing the show because you got a whole nother show to do.
That's right.
I gotta talk about She-Hulk.
No, wait, that's the wrong one.
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars. She-Hulk is big in it. It's cool.
Yes.
And Titania.
Guess what we're doing
have
tonight?
A lot of fights.
Mommy? What?
Whoa!
That's right. Did somebody say Titania? Tigra? What?
Go ahead, throw it in.
She is surprisingly not in it, although I think she might be in She-Hulk. Because it does look like she's fighting some cat people in one of the scenes in one of the clips. So I wonder if we're going to get the cat people in it. So
just edit out those buttholes. That's number one rule.
I think you should edit in the buttholes, Lilith, because they're cat people.
No kink shaming.
That's what cats do. They have butts and holes, and the holes are in the butts.
Anyway, on that note,
and we're canceled.
Send us your thoughts. What are you watching on TV right now? What comics are you reading? Hey, send us your thoughts on the first episode of She-Hulk. Because by the time we reconvene, the first episode will be out. So,
and did you watch Sandman? Are you upset about Jessamine and Gregory?
And what did you think about this finale of Better Call Saul?
Although I will say, Patton Oswalt is amazing as Matthew.
That came out of nowhere. I totally forgot he was in it. Like, I just heard the voice. I'm like, no! They got me again!
It is honestly the best role he's ever done.
I think I'm
including Pip Patrol in that. I mean...
Charlie, stop it. She didn't smoke her ADHD medication. Stop it.
Roll the clip. Hurry, Phil.
All right, so send your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Go join the Capes and Lunatics Pop Culture Fan Club on Facebook. Find links to all the various social medias and Facebook fan groups. Link to the YouTube channel. Everything we do gets a video. So don't miss a second. Smash that subscribe button.
Smash it.
And of course, yes, in every show notes, whether it's the podcast or YouTube, yes, I'll help our Cash App link. Make it in the word. All right.
We need some money, please. Thank you.
In a Chicago accent, make it rain.
Make it rain.
And also, yes, YouTube. And then please, of course, subscribe to the Patreon. Again, paying for this out of your own pocket. I got your payment today, Charlie Esser. Thank you very much. Look at much.
It was payday today.
Ooh. So, yes, subscribe to the Patreon. Get every little bit helps. $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And, of course, because Lilith Hellfire loves to make people suffer, superhero movie brackets. We will find the worst superhero movie of all time.
Going to the Indies next.
That's right. August will be League of Extraordinary Gentlemen versus Sin City 2, A Dame to Kill For.
Who to kill for?
Man, that is tough. They're both so good.
Frank Miller fanboy. Frank Miller fanboy alert.
A Dame to Kill For. That's the sequel. So.
That's number 2.
That's number 2.
That took like 10 years to make, yeah.
All right.
League. That was.
So yes, please subscribe to the Patreon, or if you got some disposable income, Capes and Lunatics, and Capes and Lunatics sidekicks merch.
It's-
Look, we put our money, we put our mouth where our money is.
Real
It's nobody's
aluminium.
business what's in your cup. Nice and solid. Can't see through it. Can't smell through it. Highly recommend.
That's what Hellfire looks for in a man. Anyway, so find everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. All right, Lil Hellfire. If people dare, where can they find you?
Well, if you nerds want to hang out with me on the interwebs, please feel free to find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, on Instagram at Lilith Hellfire69, and making all the comments and none of the content at TikTok at Lilith Hellfire69.
Either do the 6 or do the 9.
Let me get a ride on your armadillo back, bro.
Let me get a ride on your alligator back, bro. I don't do Twinkies or toaster strudels, so somebody's muffins getting buttered. That ain't my business.
All right, if anyone wants to talk cat buttholes, Charlie Esser, where can they do so?
Well, if they'd like to write to me the old-fashioned email, where our mothers and fathers once did, they can always do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet things like Stargirl, which will eventually come back, at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing.
Thank you, Maz, and thank you, Tristan.
F in the chat for Nichelle Nichols.
Oh, yes, that's right. Nichelle Nichols and Haish.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. 2022, not a good year.
May she be at peace, and may all good things come. You know, I don't know what the final frontier is, but now she does. And may it be a pleasant place to be.
For another week, kids, we have been your Cape.
Ampersand.
Lunatics! I was like, Phil, is there somebody else here that I should know about?
Oh, who, me? We're doing me now? Hey, well.
Everybody dance.
And remember, kids, stay tuned for September. It's going to be wild.
I disavow all knowledge.